Hello, I'm Todd Smith, and this is your Appellate Tip of the Week. This week's tip, how to tell whether an opinion is precedential. For a long time in Texas, we had two kinds of opinions. Published, which were those that appeared in the Southwestern Reporter, the official reporter for our region of the country, and unpublished, those that weren't published in the Southwestern Reporter. So you might find those in slip opinions on Lexis, Westlaw, and so forth. And the rule was, for a long time, that unpublished opinions couldn't be cited as precedent and therefore weren't binding or authoritative, and you couldn't use them to justify a particular outcome in your case. So you could find a case in Westlaw that was right on point, and you couldn't cite it as anything other than, say, an example. It wasn't precedential. So the good news is that the Supreme Court of Texas changed the rule on this several years ago now, and I still get asked occasionally, though, whether unpublished opinions are authority. So there's still two types of opinions, even though the rule has changed. One is just an opinion, and that is published in the Southwestern Reporter. The second type is a memorandum opinion, which is not published in the Southwestern Reporter. The difference now, though, is that under TRAP 47, Texas Rule of Appellate Procedure 47.7b, that all intermediate court opinions issued after January 1, 2003 are precedential. So the key tidbit to know is that date, January 1, 2003. Any intermediate decision issued after January 1, 2003 is precedential. And the fact that it's a memorandum opinion and not an opinion published in the Southwestern Reporter doesn't make any difference. You can cite Westlaw, you can cite Lexis, and it's just as good as the Southwestern Reporter. Now, anything issued before January 1, 2003 with that do not publish designation does not have precedential value, but can be cited as persuasive authority with the notation parenthetically not designated for publication. So again, that January 1, 2003 is the key bit of information to know. And of course, anything out of the Texas Supreme Court is precedential. All of those opinions are published in the Southwestern Reporter. So we're really only talking about intermediate court opinions here. If it's published after January 1, 2003, cite away. You don't have to worry at all about even issuing the designation not designated for publication, because that doesn't exist for those cases. Instead, the appropriate designation is memorandum opinion, and that memorandum opinion is still precedential. So that's it for this week's tip, and we'll see you next time.